Hello, in the next few videos we are going to learn how to write functions, which are name blocks of code that are designed to do one specific job. When you want to perform a particular task that you have defined in a function, you call the function responsible for it. If you need to perform that task multiple times throughout your program, you do not need to type all the code for the same task again and again. You just call the function dedicated to handling that task, and the code tells Python to run the code inside the function. You will find that using functions make your programs easier to write, read, test, and fix. We will also learn ways to pass function information to functions. You will learn how to write certain functions whose primary job is to display information, and other functions designed to process data and return a value or set of values. So the first function we're going to write, called greet user, all it will do when that function is called is print out hello. So the first thing we need to do is we need to go ahead and open up a new file. And then after we opened up the new file, we're just going to go ahead, add a comment. A program using a function to print a greeting. Okay, then we will add a comment and let the user know we're defining the function. And the first thing you need to use is the keyword def, followed by the function name. And in this case, we're going to just have opening and closing parentheses and then a colon. And when I press enter, the code is indented. So all the code that you want your function to go ahead and run needs to be indented underneath that function that we've defined. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and type in another comment, display a simple greeting. And then we will just go ahead and print out hello. And I will hit enter a couple of times. And then what I want to do is I want to hit the delete key, and that'll take me back to the global scope of this program. So let me just go ahead and run our program right now. So I'll click on Run Module. We want to save it. We're going to call the program greeting. I will save it under my CIS 156 folder. I will click on save, and nothing happens. And the reason why nothing has happened is that we have not called the function yet. So we need to write code that will actually go ahead and call our function. So let me just go ahead and type in function call. And then in order to call the function, you just specify the name of the function. So it'll be just greet user, and I will put in parentheses. I will click on run and run module and click on OK. And now our program runs and hello gets typed. So what we've seen, this example shows the simplest structure of a function. Line 4 uses the keyword def to inform Python that you're defining a function. This is the function definition, which tells Python the name of the function and, if applicable, what kind of information the function needs to do its job. The parentheses hold that information. In this case, the name of the function is greet user, and it needs no information to do its job, so its parentheses are empty. Even so, the parentheses, when you define a function, are required. Finally, the definition ends in a colon. Any indented lines that follow our def greet user make up the body of the function. The text line on line 5 is just a comment. The line print hello is the only line of actual code in the body of the function. So greet user has just one job: to go ahead and print hello. When you want to use this function, you call it. So a function call tells Python to execute the code in the function. To call a function, you write the name of the function followed by any necessary information in parentheses as shown on line 9. Because no information is needed here, calling our function is as simple as entering greet user. As expected, it'll go ahead and print hello. So what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to copy and paste this function information, and we're going to go out to our Python tutor so we can go ahead and visualize the execution of our function. So let me just go ahead and click on visualize execution. So basically, what Python does, it reads the first line. It sees that it's defined as a function. So what it does is it drops down to the actual function call. So on line 9, we're going to go ahead and call the function. So when I click on next, our function is called. We hop up back to line number 4. We have our greet user function down below. We click on next, and what the next line of code does should print hello. So we will click on next again. And what it does is it'll go ahead and print hello for us up above. So our function has executed and it is now ended. So if I click on next, we drop down out of the function and our program has ended, as there are no lines of code after line number 9. So this kind of walks you through what that function will actually look like when it gets executed, and you can visualize the execution of that function. So again, what we did is we typed in the simplest function possible, where we're just calling a function and that function will do its work. The one thing I want to let you know, say for instance, if I do actually cut and paste our function code up above where we've defined our function and try to run our program, let me go ahead and save it. And what we get back is we get back an error that name greet user is not defined. So what we're doing here is we're attempting to call a function that has not been defined yet. So in order to call a function, the function call must be executed after the definition of the function. And usually in Python, when you are defining functions, you'll define functions at the beginning of the program, and then the main part of the program goes below any functions that you've gone ahead and defined. So let me just go ahead and run this, and it prints out hello. So again, that's the easiest type of function. So what we're going to do in the next video is we're going to look at a function where when the function is called, information is passed into that function. So we will talk to you later.